Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We're playing in the Abyss League with an Inquisitor that uses a Volatile Dead. And today, we're gonna have a chat with Sin. He's got a nice exclamation point over his head. So, let's see if that helps us solve the Queen of the Sands conundrum. Because Sin is the God Hunter after all.
In the Marraketh Desert, an oasis lies to the east. Its waters shielded from prying eyes by a preternatural storm. The sand will rip the very flesh from your bones, should you be so foolish as to enter into its dark shroud. Yet enter you must. The goddess Shakari hides within that golden blizzard, festering with revenge as she resurrects and rebuilds her ancient army. An army that once threatened to shake the very balance of these lands. Should she be allowed to revitalize her troops, the whole of Marraketh will finally fall under the cruelty of her selfish reign. The storm is impenetrable for now, even to the likes of me, but there must be a way in. These Highgate locals, they have an affinity for the desert and harsh weather. One of them may know of a way to disperse the storm.
So, this was the missing link that I missed in yesterday's episode, but thanks to a viewer pointing out to have a chat with Sin. Because you can't actually see Sin if all you do is walk from the waypoint to the stash, so it is rather easy to forget about poor old moping Sin. So let's have a chat with everybody else and see what they have to say.
Well, it took some time, but thanks to our Marraketh neighbors
and their ancient traditions,
we managed a strain of thaumaturgy to remove the storm from Garu Khan's blade.
we even bottled it for safekeeping.
We'd rather not trust anyone with this sort of power, but perhaps you can use it to clear away that sandstorm in the desert?
Find out what sort of nasties are hiding out there in the desert and put a stop to them.
Okay, Bottled Storm. Rasha?
When I received my first flower of blood, I was given to the ritual of womanhood. All young Marraketh women have to dance with the scorpion to prove themselves worthy of carrying the Dakara's spear. It is no easy task to catch a black Marraketh scorpion. Their tails are swift, their stingers sharp, their poison lethal. I made my way through the trial unscathed, but my sister, we shared a womb, came into this world together. She left it, thrashing and foaming at the mouth. Since that day, I have slept with one eye open for fear of the scorpion's sting. And now Shakari, the mother of all black bugs, rises from the sands. Find that scuttling bitch and kill her for me and for every child, every little girl who has suffered and died by the barb of a countless poisoned tails.
That's a pretty grim way of living. Okay, so dialogues dealt with. Let's put this one down back to where it was. So we were effectively just one dialogue choice away from it. So let's see if we can have an adventure with the Queen of the Sands. It's been a while since I saw that video of Shakari. I remember there was a lot of running and popping and lots of dangerous stuff. So I'm going in there half blind, which is not the nicest way to go into a fight. Though maybe not the safest, but well, you only get to do it the first time once. And currently I'm 67, this is a 61 area. So if the boss would be in here, then that's a 63 boss. A little over leveled, so that helps. Also interesting that there's lots of people living on this side of the sandstorm thing, so it was really local. Apparently. Okay. Clean up a little bit more. And then let's ride the Abyss Rodeo this way. Oh, and stuck on the pebble again. It's nice, you hardly ever have to recast Desecrate here. Because there's just so many corpses, and all these little packs of dinosaurs, they definitely help here. Okay, and we're moving again. Okay, just slightly away from the Decoy Totem and more explosions. And there is the trove and a bow. That looks like a bit of a contraption. And it is the storm cloud, which is kind of funny to find in an oasis. Got another one of these blue ones. And then I think there was quite some stuff I did not pick up along the trail of the abyss. So let's backtrack a little bit. And then continue our hunt for Shakari. Oh, hello there, Freezing Shrine. I kind of did not see you in all of the busyness. No, and this is the start. So that's it. Wonderful. Ooh, Val area? They don't occur all that often. Especially haven't seen all that many in the new content yet. Monsters poison on hit. That's a relatively simple one. Trick here, don't get poisoned. Do I still have a poison removal? I still have a poison removal on one of my flasks, so that's all alright as well. I probably ought to review the mods on my flasks. Something I don't really think all that much about. Now, poison removal, burning removal, bleed removal, shock removal. The shock and burn removal I could probably remove because, of course, I now have the Consecrated Grounds that make me immune to elemental status ailments. So if I take those off, I can put other things on there. Nope, curse removal is going to be useful. I simply have been very unlucky in finding sources of curse removal, otherwise I would have obtained one a while ago. Freeze and chill removal is useful to keep on like a movement flask for dealing with strong boxes that freeze on hit.
Orb of fusing.
Hello there. The ideal curse removal I think is still a Stipmite Flask of curse removal because it only uses 10 charges, has 3 sips, and it lasts for a decent while. But well, it sucks up a lot of orbs of alteration to get that. And I see some of these storm clouds. This might be the same boss as in the yeah, quite sexy. The Dried Lake side area often has this one as well. At least it used to. Not quite sure if it's still the case. Nope, things do change over time. But that little bugger, it's easy to overlook and he has the potential to do a boatload of damage. So be wary of foul bosses that are easy to overlook. Oh, they're like the scorpions that we're hunting. Their sting might be rather nasty. That sounded like we were running past a tennis match. The shouting, it's just a little too loud, so it actually stands out from the sound. It's very distinctive. But who knows? Maybe they are gonna all go for the Rayclast Open. I don't know what kind of sports they play in a continent that has Nope, some kind of zombie curse going for them, and all kinds of ancient gods coming back. Do they even play sports here? They could play like dinosaur polo, I guess. I mean, polo was that sport like hockey, but on horses, right? They could play it on dinosaurs. That would be way cooler. Now for the kids, they could have maybe the little dinosaurs. Okay, all kidding aside, let's enter the sandpit and see if we come out alive. First time ever for me. Enter Shakari. Okay. That's Caustic Strike. Yep, of course there's gonna be poison. Hello? Ah, of course, multi-stage. It's the first boss you actually have to go look for it to kill you. The add-ons are useful for keeping your flask charges up. It's a bit like the Abaddon fight, I suppose. No, you're just chasing the trail, getting ambushed by goats, refilling your flasks. It's another debuff, quicksand. But so far, it's the amount of damage that goes on. It is manageable. Well, it's all background damage, but I haven't really entered the fight just yet. This is just the warm-up, I guess. A gentle introduction to Shakari, and then once we enter the proper arena. Okay, so that attack is relatively well telegraphed. If I can only manage to not get quicksanded down, slowing me, then that could help. And there is more sand. Okay, and that is a gate. The swallowing sands. Let's do this. Quicksand, quicksand. We now know. Let's not go there. It's a silly place. Decoy, corpses, cremation. Okay, this one likes to move. Let's see, cursor. Corpses, please, bug. Yes, thank you. Okay, she's in an underground stage. That's probably meant to help you recharge your flask, but in this case, the damage we're doing is just too much. So all we really have to do is just to stay alive and make sure she does not. There we are. Okay, so Shakari was very, very manageable. Though, this is a very hands-off build, that really does help. So what does Shakari give us? This is a new soul. 5% reduced chaos damage taken. So that's like a damage reduction, so you can... I don't think it scales with chaos damage resistance, but... So it's not like you go from 75 to 80. It's probably a secondary layer. So no, they stack in a slightly different way. So let's see, 25% reduced chaos damage taken. Chaos damage over time taken while in a caustic cloud. That's oddly specific. Capture terror of the infinite drifts and you become immune to poison. That's pretty neat. Then, no, as long as we're standing inside of a Consecrated Ground, we're immune to elemental status ailments as well as poison. So then the only thing you really have to be worried about is getting stunned. And having a high enough health pool really does help a lot with that. Neat. Let's see, for now we're still using the physical damage reduction, and as you see, now most of the time we're standing still, ideally a bit away from the fight, and I think that's gonna be good enough for now. So that concludes the Shakari fight and quest, and Irasha is happy.
You killed Shakari. Shakari was supposed to be our divine teacher, said to guide us into womanhood. All she ever gave was death. I suppose it's fitting that the teacher has learnt that mortal lesson for herself. Our whole lives, we have lived for the blessings of our goddesses. Yet here they are, in the flesh, proving to us that they are only monsters.
And that is a skill point, as is customary for killing a god. Okay, so last time we completed Celestial Punishment, kind of concluding that little bit of focus. So next up is going to pick up Shaping, just 2 points, so on the next level we'll actually grab it. And after that I'm going to go for a bit of a change of plans. I'm going to ignore the remainder of the area over here, so no Potency of Will, no Foresight. Most skills, they last long enough already. Adding extra duration, it's nice, but question there is the quality of life improvement worth 4 skill points? And that probably is not the case. Same way with Foresight, especially if I'm not picking up Potency of Will, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4 points to get the Foresight. 14%, well, 20% increased energy shield plus 20 base energy shield in a build that heavily focuses on life and only has energy shield as a little extra layer of mitigation, but not as something that is really a core piece of the build. Those 4 points can probably be spent in a better way, or no, together it's 7 points. And the reason for that is to focus on some things in the north. Over here we have Explosive Impact. Now you pick up 3 of the nodes here, plus 1 travel node, that's 4 points. To get it, that's a nice bonus to fire damage. And after that, go for Cruel Preparations, go for Heart of Flame. And after that, I was thinking to just take Firewalker, Occultist Dominion, and Heart and Soul. Heart and Soul is incredibly useful for this build, actually. You gain both life and mana. And no, thanks to Mind Over Matter, mana counts as life for us. So Heart and Soul is actually useful because the node itself is effectively 20% increased life pool if you combine everything together, or health pool, I suppose the word would be. So no, that's a bit of a change from my old plans of taking the path down here, Born to Fight, Heart of the Warrior, Warrior's Blood, and then picking up the Marauder nodes. The reason for that is, there's quite some traveling, and things like Born to Fight. Effectively this is just a very effective travel node because everything else in there is not useful. And then, there's 20% increased life here, same as in Cruel Preparation. And Warrior's Blood, yes, 1.8% life regen is nice. But after that, focus on armor. Yes, we do have armor. But then I would rather go for Heart and Soul for now and use the travel a little bit more efficiently, and then afterwards grab something like an Indomitable. And there's another... there's Combat Stamina down here, which has both life and armor and a little bit of regen as well. So there's different ways of getting the stats that would be useful without traveling all the way down here for the nodes. And we'll see about that. So that's a little change of plans. As always, now in the description below the video there are links for Path of Building, for the skill tree and a mini strategy guide and things like that. Okay, so we had a little focus on Shakari, so the Oasis is done, and I realized that after talking to Pataras and Vanya we got another little side quest. So I figure, with whatever remains of the episode, let's go back to the foothills and grab that one. So then next episode we can be fully focused on the later parts of the act. So let's do that. Let's find ourselves a calendar, which ought to be around here somewhere. Let's see, 62 area. I'm 67, so I'm slightly higher level this. Those bulls, they have a decent chunk of life. But it won't really help them. Not much. A Soul Eater. I say the Soul Eaters are pretty common amongst the Abyss mobs. Outside of it, it seems a bit more randomized. Wonder if the Abyss mobs have a predisposition to have a very high chance of being a Soul Eater. No, it's like something that is just special to them. Or whether it has just been incredible luck. That's also possible. But I guess it would be nice if certain types of mobs of certain factions would have a higher chance of having certain modifiers active on them. So that as to just give a bit more personality to them. No, same as I guess having certain areas have divination cards that drop. That's already something that makes specific items for specific areas a little bit more unique. Bronze life. Life, I guess. +2 to the level of socketed movement skills. Oi, stop smashing me, you silly monsters. Okay, so another map. +2 to the level of socketed movement gems. So I guess if you wanna have like a cyclone build, that would work. But it's dex, so that kind of points you in a different direction. Mid arrow? Blink arrow? Okay, maybe. Because I don't think there's Burning Blades builds, are there? Shield charge, that could be, of course. 10% increased attack speed, 48% increased damage with movement skills. Definitely want you to use it as your main skill. A bunch of increased evasion, increased movement speed, and 15% increased attack and cast speed if you have used a movement skill recently. So if you're now focusing on your main attack skill as movement skill, then you're using it all the time. So effectively this gives you 25% increased attack speed in total. It's not bad. I don't think I've ever seen it before though. Forget your kite shield, just put the biggest man in the field between you and the archers. Okay. So let's just do mostly a full clear of the area. Oh, I think that's gonna be the theme of the early part of Act 9. Just end up full clearing until you find the things you need in each area. So in the open desert, you wanna find the Storm Sword because it is now a direct dependency for killing Shakari, and of course, well, if killing Shakari grants you a skill point, then suddenly it is very much worth going after Shakari. And there we are. And the same for the foothills. There is the calendar thing to go for. I don't quite remember what the reward is, but I just wanna do it just because this is the second time through and I just want to do a full clear of all the new quests, it is very well possible that if the reward is not exciting or useful, then for future episodes I'll just keep a list of something of quests to ignore. Or at some point you'll remember. It's like the Necromancer Cave in Act 1. No, you never do it on your first go. It's at least I don't. I only do it when I need skill points, and that's usually when I'm like a level 60 or 70 character. I quickly go back there and just murder everything in order to get my 2 refund points. Whoop. Did I accidentally click it? That was not the plan. Luckily, nothing bad happened. Nothing good happened either. Okay, so we have the tunnels. It's not quite what I was going for here. Okay, now it says kill Boulderback. At least there's someone to kill. That's a good thing, but if I were a Boulderback, where in the heck in the world would I hide? Because I like to believe I killed everything I encountered. Oh, maybe not these. So I've been just looking for a calendar drop. Oh, really realizing it was actually tied to a kill quest. Then of course the minimap is not really going to help you. Oh, there we are, Boulderback. Well, enough corpses, enough explodings, and you are gone. Interesting coloration there. It's a 4-link on a 5 socket, but not a useful, so we'll ignore it. But that was the source of why we needed to be here. A little calendar that, of course, our brave treasure hunters have managed to acquire and probably going to sell it for fat profits.
Our relic hunter returned.
Ah, 2 respect points. Marvelous. Okay, so it was actually incredibly appropriate that I was talking about the Necromancer quest in Act 1, because this is exactly the same reward. So, mental note, I'll probably forget it, but no, mental note to keep here. If you need the refund points, do it. If you manage to miss Boulderback on your way through, which I guess it's possible. I mean, if you stick to the edges and he's in one of the camps, then of course you're just not gonna run into him. No, it's 2 refund points, so you can do without and you can just go back and grab him when you want to. But for now, we need to rescue Ojun somewhere in the quarry, and after that we have the recurring nightmare. We need to find the Totem powder in the refinery, and that is going to open the way forward. So next episode will find us in the quarry and maybe even in the areas beyond. So thank you once again for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.